Had I turned down the widow's invitation to that villa, perhaps my life would have taken a different turn. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Justin, a 25-year-old resident of a quaint little town nestled close to Pittsburgh. Though I lack a prestigious degree and the support of a wealthy family, my journey is uniquely my own. Upon completing high school, as my friends embarked on their college journeys, I chose a different path. I dedicated myself to working 6 jobs, all in pursuit of saving enough to launch my own small lawn and landscaping venture. Once upon a time, a whimsical idea took shape in the form of my company Green Zone. It all began with an old white Ford van, which, when it roared to life alongside a lawnmower, created a symphony of sound that was both amusing and unexpected. I gathered a pair of trusty pruning shears and a budget-friendly leaf blower. Yet within me resided unwavering faith and a heart brimming with hope. As I was immersed in the task of collecting my tools, the sudden ring of my phone broke the silence. A number that feels foreign. "Greetings," a resonant female voice responded. "Greetings. I am Olivia. It was my neighbor who shared your number with me. I'm seeking a skilled hand to tend to my yard. Do you have some time to spare?" I nearly leaped from my seat. "Absolutely, I can swing by tomorrow if that works for you." Once the call ended, I lingered in quiet contemplation for a few moments. This was my moment. A genuine client, not just someone I know. The following day, I set off in my trusty old van, heading to the address Olivia had shared with me. In a prosperous enclave, European-style villas stood gracefully, their charm veiled by the embrace of ancient trees. It was beyond my wildest imagination that I would find myself stepping into a place like this. Olivia's house exuded beauty, yet it carried a hint of melancholy in its atmosphere. As I pressed the bell, the door creaked open with a deliberate slowness. Olivia found herself standing there a moment, suspended in time. In her 40s, she stood tall and elegant, her dark brown hair neatly tied back in a bun. Her attire, though unadorned, radiated an effortless grace. Ah, those mesmerizing eyes! Those eyes held me captive, drawing my gaze like a moth to a flame. They carried a softness in their demeanor, tinged with a hint of melancholy and caution. "Are you Justin?" she inquired. "Indeed, madam." "Please, just Olivia," she said with a gentle smile. With a graceful gesture, she guided me into the garden, highlighting the spots that called for a careful trim. Olivia's words carried a hint of sorrow. With the departure of my old gardener, the untidiness of this place weighs heavily on my heart. With rapt attention, I made a silent vow to give my utmost effort. As I tended to the grass and carefully arranged the rows of roses, an unmistakable sensation washed over me. Olivia was observing me from a distance. At times, I would glance upward and find her on the balcony, her gaze tracing my every move. Yet there was no disdain, only an expression of confusion. As I wrapped up, Olivia emerged from the shadows. "Your work was exceptional, marked by careful attention to detail. Few possess the ability to achieve such a feat." A hint of embarrassment washed over me as I scratched my head, pondering the moment. Gratitude flows from my heart. Ah, my gratitude to you, Olivia. I approach every task as if it were my own garden, tending to it with care and dedication. Olivia offered a subtle smile, a hint of warmth flickering across her face. It was a faint smile tinged with a deep sorrow. "Would you care to step inside for a delightful cup of tea? The heat is overwhelming." In that moment, uncertainty enveloped me. Though it was rare for customers to welcome me into their homes, I embraced the opportunity when it arose. And thus began my journey into the enchanting realm of Olivia. That day remains etched in my memory, a tale I will always carry with me. The grand house stood in opulence, yet it echoed with an emptiness devoid of life. The paintings adorning the walls held a beauty of their own, yet they were shrouded in a veil of dust. Ah, the tea danced upon the palate, a delightful symphony of flavors that warmed the soul. In my conversations with Olivia, an unsettling sense of loneliness enveloped me, even as she maintained her proud facade. In the bloom of youth, your courage to embark on the journey of starting your own company is truly commendable. Yet to toil in solitude can often feel quite isolating, wouldn't you agree? A gentle smile graced my lips. That question felt like an arrow striking straight to the core of my being. Indeed, I hold on to my dreams, and in their embrace, the shadows of loneliness lose their power. Olivia gazed at me, her eyes lingering with unspoken thoughts. Her eyes shimmered with an unusual brilliance, akin to a rare beam of light breaking through the enduring frost. As I took my leave, her fingers softly wrapped around mine. Once more, I shall seek your presence, Justin. In that moment, I believed I had secured yet another promising client. Little did I realize from that very instant I had stepped into a game from which escape would not come easily. Upon my second visit to Olivia's abode, the early fall air wrapped around me, the sun casting a pale glow cooler than the warmth of the day prior. As my trusty old van rumbled along the cobblestone path, it passed by the grand villa gate, each bump telling a tale of its own. A sense of unease washed over me, though I couldn't quite pinpoint the reason behind it. Just 3 days passed, a delightful surprise came my way in the form of a call from Olivia. My backyard is calling for a little tender care. Do you have a moment to lend a hand? Olivia spoke with a serene tone over the phone. Indeed, I can make my way over this weekend. I responded, my voice brimming with excitement. It wasn't merely about maintaining a valuable client relationship. It was also about the desire to cross paths with her once more. There was an undeniable allure about Olivia that captivated me, transcending mere appearances. A profound melancholy lurking beneath the surface. As I approached, there stood Olivia poised in the doorway, waiting. She wore the same jeans, a delicate cream sweater, her brown hair cascading softly over her shoulders. Yet today, she bore a weary expression with faint shadows lingering beneath her eyes. Good morning, Justin. Olivia murmured, her voice gentle, yet barely above a whisper. Greetings, Olivia. Where shall my tale begin? I inquired, making an effort to sound nonchalant. Come, let us venture to the back garden. Olivia suggested, a subtle smile gracing her lips. I've prepared some refreshing lemonade for you. The heat of the day lingers still. Thank you, Olivia, I replied, a quiet satisfaction blooming within me at her considerate gesture. In her back garden, nature wove a vibrant tapestry of colors and life. The ancient roses burst forth with vibrant blooms, the lavender danced in shades of purple, and the grass lay lush and velvety beneath the sun's warm embrace. Yet there existed areas that seemed untouched by the hands of time, overgrown and wild. With each deliberate cut, each precise stroke of the scissors, I crafted my way through the task, ensuring every slice was even and intentional. Each time my gaze lifted, there was Olivia poised at the window, her eyes fixed on the world beyond, not in a critical manner, but as if she were discovering tranquility in observing my efforts. As I wiped the beads of sweat from my brow, Olivia appeared, offering me a refreshing glass of cool lemonade. It appears you have a genuine passion for this work, Olivia remarked, settling onto the steps nearby. Indeed, when one pours their heart into an endeavor, the outcomes tend to shine brighter. I returned the smile, brushing the beads of sweat from my brow. Olivia cast her gaze downward, a shadow of thought crossing her features. You're unlike anyone I've ever met, Olivia murmured, her voice barely above a whisper. To my surprise, she rose, offered a subtle smile, and gracefully retreated into the house. As I tended to the lavender bushes, a gentle sound emerged from within. From the slightly ajar glass door, Olivia's voice drifted through the air, weaving a tale of her own on the phone. In that moment, it was clear that the reason lay in the excess of her drink, though her intentions were not as they seemed. Lucas, you must grasp the essence of the situation. Olivia's voice slowly diminished, caught in a struggle. I stood still, caught in a moment of disbelief. Was Lucas her son? I wished to avoid that experience once more. Take a deep breath, and let's not revisit that mindset. Okay? Olivia pressed on her voice, filled with sincerity. I set the scissors aside my heart, a tempest of emotions. What could it have been? A misstep from yesteryear. A moment Olivia wished she could take back. At that moment, Olivia stepped into view. As she caught sight of me frozen in place, a flicker of confusion crossed her face, but she swiftly gathered herself once more. You performed admirably. Now let's trim a few more rose branches. Olivia spoke in a gentle tone, her gaze drifting away just a bit. Indeed, I responded gently, attempting to mask my bewilderment. As the session drew to a close, I collected my tools and made my way to the car. Olivia emerged to bid me farewell. Justin. Olivia called out, her voice carrying softly as she stood by the gate. Indeed, I responded, my gaze lifting to meet hers. What visions do you hold for the future of the Green Zone? Olivia inquired, her gaze piercing right through me. To my surprise, I responded with complete honesty. I envision a future where the company flourishes, offering superior cars and top-notch equipment, perhaps even expanding our team with new talent. Yet at this moment, I find myself worlds away from that, my words barely concealing the yearning that stirs within me. Olivia's gaze lingered on me, a silent story unfolding in her eyes. You possess greater potential than you realize, Justin. Olivia remarked, her voice measured and deliberate. Gratitude spilled from my lips, though I stumbled over my words in response. Olivia offered a subtle smile. This weekend, if you find yourself free, I would love to treat you to dinner. There are a handful of matters I wish to share with you. Olivia remarked, her gaze slightly probing. A wave of disbelief washed over me. An evening shared with Olivia. After a brief pause, I finally agreed. I'll come. That night, slumber eluded me. In part, my joy stemmed from the abundance of work that came my way. In part, my curiosity was piqued by a desire to uncover the true essence of Olivia's message. Yet within the depths of my being, those words from the phone call continue to echo. There was a moment when I indulged a bit too freely. Please, I implore you, don't return with that sentiment. Lucas, the child of her partner. And I sense that this tale transcends the ordinary bond between a mother and her son. Yet in that moment, I found myself with no path to return. Partly due to my professional obligations, and partly out of a desire to shield that woman. A solitary, yet resilient woman bears the weight of secrets that remain hidden from the world. As the clock struck the hour, I found myself standing at Olivia's doorstep, just as I had vowed to do. As the weary van came to a halt before the gate, a sense of anticipation hung in the air. This moment My heart raced with an intensity I had never known before. With a gentle creak, the gate began to part, revealing what lay beyond. Olivia lingered, within anticipation hanging in the air. In a delicate light blue dress, she graced the scene with an air of elegance. With her hair cascading freely, her face appeared more gentle than it had just a day prior. Once upon a time, in a serene evening, a voice called out, "Good evening, Justin." Olivia offered a gentle smile. "Greetings, Olivia. I appreciate the invitation." I endeavored to maintain a genuine tone, yet the turmoil within my heart was undeniable. "Step inside. The evening meal has just been set and is ready to be enjoyed." With a sense of intrigue, I stepped into the villa after her. The interior remained unchanged, opulent yet abandoned. Along the hallway, classical paintings adorned the walls, bathed in the gentle glow of soft yellow lights that embraced every corner. The dining room was adorned with a splendid spread for dinner. A quaint dining table for two, with chairs positioned to invite conversation, adorned with pristine white porcelain plates and glistening wine glasses that catch the light. All was meticulously set in place. My gatherings lacked the presence of familiar faces. Olivia's smile danced across her face as she noticed my gaze wandering over the table. "I trust this won't be an inconvenience for you." "Indeed, I would truly cherish the opportunity to share a meal with Olivia," I expressed with heartfelt sincerity. We gathered around, ready to share our thoughts. The evening meal unfolded in a warm and inviting atmosphere. Olivia deftly guided the dialogue, inquiring about my profession, about my beginnings when I first embarked on this journey. What was the most challenging moment? Olivia's gaze lingered, captivated by each word I spoke. "Perhaps it's the sensation of solitude. In the beginning, I found myself alone, surrounded by doubt, as few believed in my potential." I spoke from the heart. "Yet you accomplished it," Olivia said with a hint of warmth in her smile. "Few among the youth possess the remarkable patience that you embody." A soft laugh escaped my lips, and a gentle warmth spread through my heart. The feast went on. We shared whispers of the everyday weaving tales of the ordinary. The city is adorned with flowers. Slowly, I began to notice a shift in the depths of Olivia's gaze, from distant to warm, from warm to intimate. As the last bite of dinner faded into memory, Olivia gracefully filled two more glasses with wine. We transitioned to the living room, where the flickering firelight from the fireplace wove enchanting patterns upon the walls. "May I request something from you?" Olivia set her glass aside, her voice taking on a measured pace. I gazed at her, anticipation hanging in the air. For the past few days, a sense of unease has settled within her, and she took a moment to reflect. "Lucas, my stepson, is returning home." Once more, that name echoed through the air. Once upon a time, there was a character named Lucas. I held my breath, eager for her to weave the next part of her tale. A troubling event unfolded between him and me. Olivia gazed intently at the flickering flames. There was a moment when I indulged a bit too much, and the night took an unexpected turn. Since that moment, Lucas has undergone a profound transformation. With a firm grip, I held my glass of wine, feeling its cool surface against my palm. Hearing a mother utter such words was a heavy burden to bear. Fear grips me at the thought of his return, fearful of meeting his gaze, fearful that he might perceive me as the same fragile person I once was. Olivia spoke gently, her eyes shimmering with sorrow. I took a deep breath. "Once upon a time, there was a character named Olivia. It saddens me to learn of that." She cast her gaze in my direction. "I seek a companion to share my journey." a presence that brings me comfort and security. Someone Lucas can perceive and grasp that I am not solitary. Silence enveloped me. Olivia's voice dropped to a whisper. I wish to place my trust and resources in you. Sufficient resources to enhance the entire green zone with new vehicles, upgraded equipment, and the hiring of personnel. Yet in exchange, I gazed at her, my heart racing with anticipation. Come, let us share this space together. Embrace me as your beloved, at least until I find the strength to stand tall against Lucas. Olivia fixed her gaze, unwavering and intent upon mine. All at once the air grew still. The rhythm of my heart echoed within me, each pulse resonating like a drum in the silence. It may come across as self-centered, yet I yearned to break free from the chains of fear that have held me captive. Olivia spoke with a measured cadence. And I have faith in you, Justin. In this moment, you are the sole figure that comes to my mind. I found myself in a moment of silence, unsure of how to reply. This moment transformed everything. Yet in that moment, it was a proposition that transcended my wildest dreams. Allow me a moment to ponder this matter. At last, my voice emerged. With a gentle nod, Olivia acknowledged the moment. I see what you mean. Consider this, Justin. Your assistance would be greatly appreciated, and I can guide you on the path to realizing your dreams. On that day, I departed, enveloped in a haze of uncertainty. Outside, the chill of the air had settled in, wrapping the world in a crisp embrace. Yet there was no whisper of wind to be felt. Not a single leaf whispered its dissent. Within the confines of my mind, Olivia's words echoed persistently. Come, let us share this space together. Will you take a chance on us and be my girlfriend? As I navigated the winding roads in the old van, the darkness enveloped me, and my thoughts surged like a tempestuous sea, each wave carrying a different story waiting to be told. Take the leap and share a home with Olivia. Embrace the role of her beloved, if only in title. A part of me grasped that the proposal stemmed not from a place of possessiveness or harm. Olivia sought a barrier, a fortress of protection. Yet to accept it was to step into uncharted territory. Sleep eluded me that night. The vision of Olivia by the flickering flames lingered in my thoughts, a scene etched in memory. Her voice whispered, I trust you, Justin. The glimmer in her gaze as she spoke of Lucas. The following morning, as the sun began to rise, I stirred from my slumber and discovered a message from Olivia waiting for me on my phone. There's no rush for a response, yet I sincerely wish you'll take it into account. If you feel inclined, join me for tea this afternoon. Time stretched before me as I lingered in that moment. In a moment of impulse, I found myself replying to the message. I shall make my presence known. That afternoon, as I stepped into the villa, I found Olivia already settled in the living room, a cup of tea gently steaming on the table before her. Thank you for coming, Olivia said, her smile bright, yet tinged with a hint of weariness in her eyes. My mind has wandered through many thoughts. I took my place in the chair across from him. It's clear to me why Olivia feels compelled to take this path. Yet this is no trivial affair. I have no desire to feign something if I cannot do it justice. There's no need for pretense, Justin. Olivia said, her gaze steady and sincere. Let us embark on this journey with a shared understanding. If you find yourself feeling uneasy, I will not impose anything upon you. Yet what I seek is a companion, a steadfast soul I can rely upon. For what felt like an eternity, I remained quiet, my fingers gently tracing the edge of the teacup. Assistance for Olivia is within my reach. This chance is something I truly seek. I lifted my gaze to meet hers. Indeed, I concur. Olivia released a gentle sigh, her gaze becoming tender. Gratitude flows from my heart. Her voice danced through the air like a gentle breeze. A room shall be readied for you, along with the investment that awaits. Once you settle in, I'll make the transfer without delay. I nodded, yet there was a tiny condition that Olivia insisted upon. Though this is a pact, I trust you'll embrace your true self. Subtlety is key. Lucas possesses a deep sensitivity. If he detects any facade, his anger will only intensify. With a nod, I acknowledge their words. After 2 days, I gathered my belongings. They were hardly significant, to be honest. A suitcase filled with garments, a handful of cherished belongings, and a selection of books waiting to share their tales. The ancient van carried me to that grand mansion, where I was destined to embrace a role more unfamiliar than any I had ever known. As I approached, Olivia welcomed me with a warm smile at the threshold. On that day, she donned a modest white dress, exuding an air of youthful charm that belied her years. "Welcome to my humble abode." "Know our house," Olivia remarked with a playful glint in her eye. A soft laugh escaped my lips. I trust I won't trouble Olivia excessively. Olivia shook her head, her eyes glimmering with a tenderness that was rare to see. With a graceful gesture, she beckoned me to follow her up the stairs. Sunlight poured into my room through the expansive windows, casting a warm glow over the space and framing a picturesque view of the back garden. If you find yourself in need of anything, do not hesitate to reach out to me. For the time being, think of this as your sanctuary. In those initial days of cohabitation, a serene calm enveloped the space. In the quiet corners of her study, Olivia often lost herself in the pages of books, while outside she nurtured the vibrant blooms of her garden with tender care. Seizing the moment, I set about refining the sections of the garden she had requested I prune. Each evening, we gathered around the table for dinner, not extravagant by any means, yet enveloped in a uniquely warm ambiance. As I busied myself with the wooden fence behind me, little did I know that Olivia stood beside me quietly observing the scene unfold. "Your commitment to your craft is truly admirable," Olivia remarked, her tone filled with warmth. "In my mind, when you lend your efforts to another, it's essential to pour your heart into it, as if it were your very own endeavor." A smile danced across my lips in response. Olivia's gaze lingered on me a moment, stretched in silence. "Perhaps I have found the one who is meant to be." That sentence sent a delightful shiver through my heart. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a warm glow in the room, Olivia gracefully poured 2 glasses of wine, the rich liquid swirling like a promise of the stories to come. In the cozy embrace of the living room, the warm yellow light gently enveloped us, casting a serene glow throughout the space. With a soft touch, Olivia set the glass aside, ready to share her thoughts. I gazed at her, anticipation hanging in the air. "Lucas shall return in a matter of days," her voice whispered softly. "I'm uncertain about his reaction upon seeing you, but I trust you won't feel any pressure." With unwavering resolve, I declared, "I am not afraid. I shall stand by Olivia's side." Olivia gazed at me intently, her eyes sparkling with a tender warmth, yet tinged with a hint of unease. "Thank you," she whispered, her voice trembling with emotion. That night, upon my return to the room, I lingered by the window, lost in thought for what felt like an eternity. As I gazed upon the shrouded garden, A realization washed over me. I had stepped into a realm unlike any other. And now the tale unfolds. As the days unfolded, they seemed to stretch on endlessly. In time, I found myself embracing the new cadence of life within that villa. Olivia was initially reserved, but as she became comfortable, her gentle and warm nature began to shine through. Each morning, I would rise with the dawn to tend to the garden's needs. In those moments, Olivia would perch on the second-floor balcony, a cup of coffee cradled in her hands, observing me as I immersed myself in my work. On a day like any other, as I tended to the hydrangeas, she appeared making her way down to the garden with an air of unexpected grace. Justin, Olivia whispered gently. Indeed, I pivoted the pruning shears still firmly in my grasp. Would you care to join me at the mall this afternoon to pick up a few items? Absolutely. If Olivia requires anything, I'm prepared to assist. Olivia offered a subtle smile, a hint of warmth dancing on her lips. Gratitude flows from my heart. On that day, her eyes held a certain quality, a touch of uncertainty, a hint of... It was as if she held a secret on the tip of her tongue, yearning to be spoken, yet held back by an invisible force. In the afternoon, I took Olivia on a journey to the mall. It was a moment unlike any other as I witnessed her finally let go and embrace tranquility. She had shed the layers of distance that once defined her. Olivia beamed and let her words flow effortlessly. As we meandered through a collection of quaint little shops, each one whispered its own tale, waiting to be discovered. In a quaint, time-worn bookstore, Olivia lingered thoughtfully before the shelf brimming with French literature. I used to adore these books. Olivia remarked, her voice tinged with nostalgia. What has led you to stop reading them? I inquired. Ever since the event with Lucas unfolded, my mind struggles to focus on anything at all. With a gentle bow of her head, Olivia embraced the moment. For a brief moment, I found myself enveloped in silence. Olivia, you can let go of the pressure now. My presence here goes beyond mere transactions. Olivia gazed up at me, her eyes glistening with tears. I know, she whispered, her lips quivering ever so gently. And perhaps I've found myself leaning on you more than I ever imagined. My heart plummeted. The once formidable Olivia now appeared so delicate. That evening, upon returning home, Olivia beckoned me to join her for a glass of wine in the cozy embrace of the living room. We found ourselves nestled before the warm glow of the fireplace, a cozy haven from the world outside. In the stillness, time seemed to stretch, enveloping everything in a profound hush. Justin, Olivia murmured, her voice a touch raspy from the drink. Indeed, have you ever pondered, should Lucas fail to return, would you linger a while longer? That question caught me off guard, I must admit. In that moment of uncertainty, I paused. If Olivia is agreeable, I believe I shall remain. In your presence, a serene calm envelops me. Olivia's gaze lingered on me a moment, stretched in silence. Those captivating eyes. Her thoughts were a mystery to me. Olivia whispered, "It seems Lucas may return sooner than I anticipated." And I feel a tremor of fear within me. Filled with fear. You can't imagine the way he gazes at me, Justin. She quivered ever so slightly. Without a second thought, I extended my hand and grasped hers. Olivia, my presence will remain steadfast. No one shall bring you harm while I stand by your side. A single tear traced a quiet path down her cheek. Gratitude flows from my heart. In this moment, a profound sense of safety envelops me, like a warm embrace. In that moment, a shift occurred between us. The agreement had slipped away, fading into the shadows of what once was. It had transformed beyond mere agreement. In a world where chaos reigned, two souls clung desperately to a delicate shard of tranquility. The following morning, just as I was preparing to venture down to the garden, Olivia emerged from the study. Just in her voice carried a sense of urgency. "What seems to be the trouble?" I inquired, my heart racing with anticipation. "Lucas sent me a message. He shall return this afternoon." A heavy silence enveloped the house in an instant. I, the time has not yet come for me. I'm uncertain about how to confront this challenge. Olivia's fingers curled tightly around the hem of her shirt, a silent tension building within her. I advanced, locking my gaze with hers. "Together, we shall confront this challenge. Now, you have company on your journey." Olivia's eyes sparkled with appreciation. Yet I can sense the fear swirling within her. And I sense that this afternoon, the tranquility of the past will give way to something more tumultuous. The initial days of cohabitation unfolded with a gentle pace, wrapped in an almost surreal tranquility. A new rhythm unfolded within the villa, a place I had once only dared to dream of stepping into. Each dawn I rose before Olivia, embracing the quiet stillness of the world around me. From the time I toiled in the gardens, scattered throughout the town, that habit had woven itself into the fabric of my daily life. As the clock struck 6 and the sun began its ascent, casting a warm glow over the distant pine trees, I made my way to the garden. Just beneath the second-floor balcony, a faint sound caught my attention as the window creaked open a fraction. Olivia lingered in the moment, a delicate robe cascading softly over her shoulders, cradling a steaming cup of coffee in her hands. "Greetings, Justin, as the dawn breaks anew." Olivia's lips curled into a gentle smile, her voice carrying the remnants of slumber. "Greetings, Olivia, on this fine morning. What a splendid day! It is filled with beauty and wonder." I lifted my gaze and responded. For a fleeting moment, her gaze met mine. She offered a subtle nod, her silence enveloping the moment as she observed me carry on with my task. It's hard to pinpoint the moment those glances began to weigh heavy on my heart. It was a gaze transformed no longer that of a wealthy woman observing a lawnmower, yet it could be the gaze of a woman who has wandered through solitude for far too long. As the sun graced the sky, I devoted my hours to nurturing the garden, bringing order to its wild beauty. Olivia remained silent, yet I sensed that when the house radiated beauty, the spirits of those within soared higher. With careful hands, I exchanged the drooping blooms for fresh blossoms, enriched the lavender beds with new soil, and breathed new life into the wooden fence with a fresh coat of paint. From time to time, Olivia would emerge into the garden, cradling a pot of tea or a pitcher of lemonade. "You did a good job," Olivia remarked, setting the tray down on the weathered wooden table on the porch. As I find myself in this moment, I feel compelled to give my all. I returned the smile, brushing the beads of sweat from my brow. Olivia settled into a nearby wicker chair, the gentle creak of the seat welcoming her as she prepared to weave her thoughts into a tapestry of words. "Justin," she paused, "what are your thoughts on life in this place?" My gaze fell upon her. It's quite serene and far less constrained than I had imagined. Olivia let out a soft, melodic laugh. "It brings me joy to hear you express that sentiment." As the sun dipped below the horizon, we gathered around the table sharing our meals and stories, creating memories that lingered in the twilight. The tension in the air had vanished, leaving a sense of ease behind. Olivia took to the kitchen more frequently, crafting her own culinary creations. Once, as I stepped into the kitchen, I found her slicing vegetables with care. "Allow me to assist," I offered as I strolled alongside her. Olivia spun around, a flicker of surprise dancing across her features. "Do you possess the art of cooking?" A small lesson imparted by my mother. Her gaze became gentle. "Then I shall entrust the stir-frying to your capable hands." In the kitchen, we stirred up joy, blending the melody of laughter with the rhythmic dance of knives against chopping boards. In that instant, it dawned on me that Olivia had transformed from the aloof, imperious figure I had initially encountered. She was a gentle soul, embarking on a journey of rediscovery. On yet another enchanting evening, as I immersed myself in the pages of a book in the cozy living room, Olivia gracefully entered, cradling a bottle of rich red wine. "Shall I uncork this vessel of delight? The air carries a refreshing chill today." "Enjoy a soothing drink to ease you into slumber," Olivia suggested, her smile warm and inviting. "I shall not decline." With a gentle sigh, I set the book aside. With a graceful motion, she filled 2 glasses and took a seat beside me, the air thick with anticipation. Justin, Olivia murmured gently, her gaze fixed on the swirling depths of her wine glass. "Have you ever experienced the weight of solitude?" For a brief moment, I found myself enveloped in silence. "Indeed," I responded with sincerity. "In those formative moments of launching a venture. In solitude, I found myself surrounded by doubt, with no one to walk beside me." Olivia offered a subtle nod, a quiet acknowledgement in the moment. "Same here. Even within these grand walls. In the quiet moments of the past few years, a profound emptiness has settled within me, unlike anything I've ever experienced before." Her gaze met mine, a silent exchange, unfolding in the air between us. Yet with your arrival, a sense of relief washed over me, making it easier to draw in each breath. With a grin, I lifted my glass high. "Then let us raise our glasses to the simpler times." As our glasses met, a delicate chime resonated through the stillness of the room. In those times, I could distinctly sense the transformation within Olivia. She stepped closer, no longer holding back, embracing a newfound openness. One morning, as I prepared to step into the garden, her voice echoed from the stairs, beckoning me with a sense of anticipation. "Justin." I spun around. "Indeed. Would you be able to accompany me on a shopping adventure this afternoon?" "Absolutely. Whenever Olivia calls upon me, I stand prepared." In that fleeting moment, the curve of her lips sent a thrill through my heart, making it dance with unexpected joy. Though I hesitated to confess, I found myself transforming as well. Once I stopped viewing this as a mere contract, I discovered a genuine desire to safeguard Olivia. It was not just the weight of the original promise that bound me, but the deeper emotions I held for her that kept me tethered. Each time her gaze met mine filled with unwavering support, my heart swelled with an even stronger resolve to remain steadfast. Yet deep down, I sensed that this tranquil moment was destined to fade away. As the moments passed, the subtle hints of an approaching tempest started to unveil themselves. That afternoon, following our shopping adventure, the air between Olivia and me felt a touch more intimate. As they journeyed back in the car, she gazed thoughtfully out the window, lost in her own reflections. I used to enjoy the warmth of sitting beside someone I didn't need to protect myself from. Olivia murmured, her voice barely above a whisper, lost in her own thoughts. I wish for Olivia to carry that feeling with her whenever I am present. I responded, my gaze lingering on the tree-lined street that stretched out before us. She cast her gaze in my direction, holding it for what felt like an eternity before a soft smile graced her lips. Gratitude flows from my heart. As the days unfolded, I began to notice Olivia gradually revealing more of herself. One evening, as I immersed myself in a book in the living room, Olivia descended with an ancient wooden box in her hands. "Justin, might you have a moment to spare?" she inquired, her voice wavering with uncertainty. "Absolutely. Is there anything that Olivia requires? But you see, allow me to share a glimpse of my journey so you can grasp the significance of your presence in this tale." I nodded gently, closing the book as if sealing away the tales within its pages. I'm ever eager to lend an ear. As Olivia lifted the lid of the box, a treasure trove of old photos awaited her, each one whispering tales of the past. One depicted her as a youthful woman, alongside a striking man, whom I presumed to be her former husband. Another depicted her cradling a young boy, perhaps 3 or 4 years old, likely Lucas. 7 years have passed since my former husband met his untimely end in an accident. Olivia's gaze drifted into the distance, as if she were searching for something beyond the horizon. Following that, I took on the journey of raising Lucas by myself. As the years passed, I endeavored to provide him with the finest of all that life had to offer. However, at times the depth of a mother's love cannot fill the void left by all that has been lost. With a soft sigh, she let her fingers glide gently along the rim of the photograph. Lucas possesses a sharp intellect, yet he perceives the world through a unique lens, particularly when I began to share my thoughts with another. I became still captivated by the sounds around me. On that occasion, I found myself weary, having indulged a bit too much at a family gathering. As the sun dipped below the horizon, Lucas took the wheel, guiding me through the familiar streets on our journey home. Vague memories linger, like whispers of a forgotten tale. Yet as dawn broke, I caught a glimpse of the way his gaze lingered on me, entirely distinct. Olivia paused, her voice trembling with emotion. He had ceased to view me as his mother, as something that was rightfully his to hold. With a firm grip, I held on to the arms of the chair. Olivia's tale stirred a deep emotion within me, leaving a lump in my throat. I made an effort to maintain some space by sending him off to school in a different city. Yet with each return, the atmosphere in the home grew ever more charged. And I felt a chill of fear creeping in. The weight of solitude had become too much to bear. Olivia spoke, her voice trembling as tears cascaded down her cheeks. With a tender touch, I extended my hand and grasped hers. "Olivia, I have arrived. This time, you will not walk this path by yourself." With a gentle grip, she held my hand, her shoulders trembling ever so slightly. "Justin, you are the very first soul to whom I've shared all of this, and so it begins. I cannot leave your side," I declared with conviction. From that moment on, a shift occurred in our connection. Olivia deepened her connection, not in a way that was overtly alluring, but rather in the manner of a woman who slowly began to trust and rely on another individual. Each morning, as I ventured into the garden, she would appear with a steaming cup of coffee, settling beside me to observe my labor. "Do you believe I lack strength as I tended to the roses?" Olivia inquired one day. Olivia possesses a strength that may surprise you. For those who lack strength, admitting a need for help is a daunting task, I responded. Olivia let out a soft laugh, her eyes glimmering with delight. "Your ability to create a comfortable atmosphere for others is truly remarkable." On a stormy night, as the rain poured down, We found ourselves cozied up in the living room, lost in the magic of a movie. As the film unfolded, Olivia unknowingly rested her head upon my shoulder. Apologies escaped her lips as she gently withdrew her voice barely above a whisper. "It's all right," I murmured gently. "All is well." She gazed up at me, then tilted her head back just a touch. In that instant, I felt a stirring within me, a tempest that had replaced the tranquility I once knew. Yet tranquility is but a fleeting whisper in the grand tapestry of time. One bright morning, as I tended to the plants in the garden, Olivia burst out of the house phone clutched tightly in her hand. "Justin." Her voice quivered with emotion. "What troubles you, Olivia?" I inquired, setting the faucet aside and hurrying along. "Lucas sent me a message. He mentioned that he would send a few items over initially, and he urged her to be ready, Mom." Olivia's gaze met mine, a whirlwind of panic swirling in her eyes. I gently clasped her hand in mine. "All is well. Through every twist and turn, my presence will remain by your side." In the days that followed, the air in the house grew thick with an unspoken weight. With each chime of the doorbell, Olivia felt a jolt of surprise coursing through her. Several modest parcels made their way to me. Garments, scattered pages, turned hints that Lucas was truly returning to his haven. With each passing night, Olivia's voice faded into whispers, her eyes forever wandering into the horizon. I made an effort to be present for her more often. Yet deep down, I sensed the tempest was on the horizon. Yet I found myself uncertain if I was truly ready to confront what lay ahead. As the shadows danced upon the walls of the mansion, an air of unease settled in thick and palpable. As time went on, the number of packages Lucas returned began to grow steadily. One day, as I was carrying a box of newly delivered books, Olivia emerged, her face ashen. I'm not certain if I should hold on to these," Olivia murmured, her voice quivering ever so slightly. "Olivia, should you feel uneasy, I can certainly remove them." I set the box aside and turned my gaze toward her. With a brief pause, she offered a subtle nod. "Ah, I appreciate your kindness." In her eyes, I could discern the deepening fear that seemed to swell with each passing day. As time unfolded, the bond between Olivia and me deepened, evolving into something more intimate. On those rainy nights, we would gather in the living room, where the flickering firelight cast enchanting shadows upon the walls. On a particular day, just as I completed the task of tidying up the kitchen, Olivia appeared from behind me. "Justin?" Her voice danced through the air like a gentle breeze. Indeed, I retraced my steps. "Would you be okay if I rested my weight on you for a bit?" My gaze fell upon her. In Olivia's gaze, a profound sense of solitude lingered. "Certainly not," I responded gently. As she drew nearer, her head gently found a place upon my shoulder. Her entire form quivered ever so gently. "I'm utterly exhausted," Justin, Olivia murmured softly. "In recent times, restful slumber eludes me." With a tender embrace, I enveloped her in my arms. "There's no need for you to push yourself any longer. Here I stand." Olivia wrapped her arms around me, a silence enveloping us, speaking volumes without a single word. In that fleeting instant, it dawned on me that my emotions for Olivia had transcended the boundaries of our original pact. As the days unfolded, Olivia slowly embraced my presence beside her. As I prepared to step into the garden, she gently grasped my hand, halting my movement. "Justin, would you be able to spend the day at home with me?" To my astonishment. "What troubles you, Olivia?" With a gentle shake of her head, She dismissed the notion. No, it's simply that. I find a greater sense of safety when you're here with me. In the presence of that gaze, I found myself unable to say no. Ah, here I stand before you today. A subtle smile graced my lips. With a tender grip, Olivia intertwined her fingers with mine. Gratitude flows from my heart. As the sun dipped below the horizon and the room filled with the soft glow of evening light, I would find myself lost in the pages of a book, while Olivia perched quietly in the chair across from me, her gaze fixed upon me, a silent observer in our shared moment. Once I gazed upward and inquired, Olivia, why not immerse yourself in a book or lose yourself in a movie to take your mind off things? Her smile held a touch of melancholy. Your presence alone brings a sense of tranquility to my heart. My heart plummeted. It became clear to me that the connection we once shared had faded into the past. Our connection was essential. At last the day arrived. As dawn broke and the aroma of brewing coffee filled the air, Olivia burst down the stairs, her phone clutched tightly in her hand. Ah, Justin, who is this Lucas? He reached out to me. He promised to return by tomorrow afternoon. Her voice trembled with urgency. I moved closer, taking hold of her shoulders. Take a deep breath, Olivia. We shall navigate these waters together. I shall remain by your side, unwavering and steadfast. Olivia rested her head against my chest, her tears flowing freely. Fear grips me, Justin. Those eyes of his, the gaze he casts upon me. The weight of it all is too much to bear. I embraced her closely, feeling the warmth of her presence enveloping us both. I vow to keep my word. My presence will forever remain by your side. I shall ensure your safety come what may. Olivia lifted her gaze to meet mine. Justin, you are the one I turn to when I need someone I can trust. With a tender touch, I let my hand rest softly against her cheek. Then have faith in me. I shall be your shield. Olivia nodded gently, her eyes glimmering with a delicate sense of hope. From that moment on, I remained by Olivia's side, unwavering and steadfast throughout the entire day. In the cozy embrace of the living room, we found ourselves together, suspended in anticipation. The signs were unmistakable. The storm was approaching. In this moment, I knew I had to prepare myself. Beyond Olivia alone. Yet for me, the one who found himself enchanted by this woman without even knowing it. The following afternoon, the villa felt stifling. Olivia had scarcely stepped out of her room since the dawn broke. I prepared a warm cup of tea and carried it up to her, a small gesture of care and comfort. Yet she accepted it, her hands trembling with uncertainty. Justin, I don't know if I can confront it, Olivia murmured, her voice trembling. Behold, I have arrived. Fear not, for you shall not walk this path by yourself. I clasped her hand softly, my eyes steady and resolute. Olivia gave a subtle nod, yet I sensed that her fear ran far too deep. As the clock struck 4 in the afternoon, the unmistakable sound of a car coming to a halt outside the gate echoed through the air. Olivia's entire being became rigid. She grasped my hand with a firm grip. Her eyes were wide with fear. Lucas, she murmured softly. I gently placed my hand on her shoulder, offering a sense of comfort and assurance. I shall descend and unlock the gate. Remain in this place. Fear holds no power here. I hurried down, my heart racing with each step. As the iron gate swung open with a mechanical sigh, a young man in his 20s came into view. Lofty and striking, yet his gaze held an icy detachment. Once upon a time, there was a character named Lucas. He stepped out of the car, tossing his backpack onto the back seat, with a casual flick. His gaze roamed the room before landing on me. "Whom do I have the pleasure of addressing?" Lucas inquired, his tone cutting through the air like a blade. "Greetings. I am Justin. In this place, I share my days with Olivia," I responded with clarity. Lucas squinted, his gaze sharp and focused. A subtle smile danced at the edges of his lips. "How is life with my mother treating me?" "My mother has discovered a fresh palette." I maintained my calm demeanor. "Step inside." Olivia stands in anticipation. Lucas cast a lingering glance my way, then let out a dismissive snort, striding past me as though I were nothing more than a shadow. Within the confines of the house, Olivia stood at the far end of the hallway, her complexion ashen. "Greetings, dear mother." With a subtle smile, Lucas approached his steps, measured and deliberate. "Olivia," whispered gently. Her hands were woven together in a firm embrace. Once again, Lucas's gaze traversed my form. What a delightful experience. Mother never suggested I invite more guests into our home. Justin is a companion of Mom's. Olivia endeavored to maintain a steady tone. "Companions." Lucas chuckled heartily. "Companions sharing a home. Mother is making remarkable progress." As I approached, I found myself standing beside Olivia. "Lucas, I've come at Olivia's request. I'm not looking to engage in a debate with you." With a sly grin, Lucas surveyed me from head to toe. "Ah, the allure of heroism calls to you, but I wonder how long you can withstand the challenge I present." That evening, the air in the house was thick with an icy tension. Lucas joined us at the table, his demeanor calm, yet each word he uttered dripped with a sharp wit and a hint of challenge. "Justin, what's your earnings from mowing lawns?" "Relying on my mom is the simpler path to take." My gaze met his directly. I forged my own path, standing strong on my own 2 feet. Olivia sat in stillness, her hands clutching the knife and fork, her entire being coiled with tension. Lucas cast a glance at Olivia. "Mom, do you truly feel comfortable having someone like him sharing our home?" Olivia quivered, her voice caught in her throat. As our fingers intertwined beneath the table, I felt a warmth radiate from the gentle squeeze of my hand on hers. "It is not your place to make decisions on behalf of Olivia." I spoke in a hushed tone. With a slight curl of his lips, Lucas rose to his feet. "Very well. Proceed as you wish. But do not believe for a moment that I will simply overlook this." He ascended the stairs, the heavy atmosphere trailing behind him. With a glance, I shifted my attention to Olivia. "How are you holding up?" Olivia pressed her face into my shoulder, tears cascading down her cheeks. "I'm at a loss, Justin." His eyes fill me with dread. I embrace her with a firm grip, holding her close. "We shall confront it head on. I shall remain by your side." Olivia wept softly against me. She lingered by my side throughout the night. The true challenge was only just unfolding before me, and I understand as well I shall not yield, neither for Olivia nor for me. The following days in the house felt like a delicate dance on a tightrope. Lucas remained silent, yet each movement, each look, cut through the air with a precision that was almost palpable. I endeavored to soothe Olivia, aware that she was grappling with immense pressure. With each arrival of Lucas into the room, Olivia found herself nearly pausing in anticipation. Her hands ever so slightly danced with a tremor that caught my eye. One fine morning, as the aroma of brewing coffee filled the air, Lucas strolled into the kitchen and settled himself into a chair with a casual ease. "It appears you have a certain acquaintance with this dwelling." Lucas declared, his voice filled with conviction. In this place, I lend my hand to Olivia, following the path she has set before me. I responded with a sense of tranquility. Lucas offered a subtle smile, a hint of warmth flickering across his face. Assistance, perhaps? In the embrace of my mother's presence, I found solace as we shared the same bed. I tightened my hands into fists, yet maintained a steady tone. Step carefully, for the boundary is drawn. Lucas rose to his feet and moved in closer to me. I will protect my mother from being exploited by an unscrupulous gardener. As Olivia stepped into the kitchen, her eyes fell upon the unfolding scene before her. "Is Lucas sufficient?" Olivia cried out, her voice quivering with emotion. With a gentle turn, Lucas faced her. "Mother, you have truly transformed. Are you allowing this individual to control matters in our home?" Olivia's complexion drained, yet she summoned the strength to hold her ground. "I hold the power to determine who remains in this space. If you choose not to embrace this, you are free to depart." It was a moment unlike any other. Olivia's voice held a weight I had never witnessed before, yet beneath that strength I sensed her fear. Lucas cast a glance at his mother, a scoff escaping his lips before he ascended the stairs. That night, Olivia nestled beside me in the living room, her entire form quivering ever so slightly. It was a thought that lingered in the shadows, never spoken aloud to him, yet I find myself reluctant to part from your side. With a tender touch, I reached for her hand. We shall confront it side by side. There's no need to bear the weight of the world on your shoulders any longer. Olivia gazed at me, her eyes glistening with a hint of crimson. "Justin, I find myself at a crossroads, and the weight of it all feels heavier than I can bear." She has transformed into someone entirely different from the little one I nurtured. I embraced her softly. "Then allow me to be your steadfast companion." Olivia nestled her head against my chest, her whispers delicate and gentle. "Gratitude flows from my heart. Your presence is the air that fills my lungs." Yet Lucas pressed on undeterred. The following day, as I tended to the lawn, he emerged, a glass of wine elegantly cradled in his hand. "Do you believe you can take my place with my mother?" Lucas curled his lip in disdain. "I am not taking the place of anyone. My presence here is a result of Olivia's wishes. It is important to honor her choice." I responded with conviction. With a deliberate step, Lucas drew nearer. "Ah, but there's a deeper layer to this one that perhaps eludes your grasp. My mother is solely mine. You are but a fleeting presence." I tightened my grip, striving to steady my voice against the tremor within. "Your words hold no authority here. Olivia is a being, not a mere thing." Lucas fixed his gaze upon me, his eyes tinged with a weary red. "Just wait and watch. I shall not part with my mother so effortlessly." With a fierce motion, he hurled his glass to the floor, where it shattered into countless pieces before storming into the house. That evening, Olivia felt as if she might crumble under the weight of the world. "Justin, that expression is unbearable for me. It feels as though he longs to consume me whole." With a heartfelt embrace, Olivia clung to me, her tears flowing freely. "I've arrived. I shall protect you from any harm he may bring." I embraced her closely, feeling the warmth of her presence enveloping me. Yet a shadow of fear lingers within me. Fear grips me, Justin. He vowed to unleash any means necessary to prevent my departure from his side. Olivia wept, her tears flowing freely. As I gazed into the depths of her eyes, a world of stories unfolded before me. In this moment, we shall bring everything to a close. I shall not allow you to endure this once more. Olivia's gaze met mine, a blend of desperation and hope swirling within her eyes. With you by my side, I find the strength to face anything. Olivia, I have arrived. Remember that well. In this moment, my duty extends beyond just safeguarding Olivia. I guard the affection I hold for her with great care. And I can sense that the true struggle with Lucas is only just unfolding. The following morning, the air in the house was thick with an oppressive tension. As dawn broke, I rose with the sun, making my way to the garden, a familiar ritual that welcomed the day. Yet today, the lawn remained unmowed and the plants untrimmed. Olivia occupied my thoughts. Upon my return, I found Olivia nestled in the living room, her hands gripping her teacup with a fervor that spoke of restless hours, her eyes shadowed by the weight of a sleepless night. Justin, the day ahead for Lucas, remains a mystery. Her voice carried a raspy quality. Here I stand. Regardless of the circumstances, I will ensure he cannot bring you any harm. I settled beside her, my gaze unwavering. Olivia gazed at me, her lips quivering with unspoken words. Your presence today has been my anchor. Without it, I surely would have faltered. In that case, it only strengthens my desire to be by your side. At the stroke of noon, Lucas made his entrance, his expression twisted in a frown. He stepped into the living room, his gaze flitting between Olivia and me. Mother Lucas articulated every word with intention. It's time for us to have a private conversation. Olivia's body tensed with anticipation. I held her hand softly, a tender connection between us. I shall not allow her to be in your company, I declared with conviction. Lucas squinted his gaze, sharpening with intent. What gives you the right to make that choice? The individual who holds Olivia's deepest trust at this moment. I rose to my feet, meeting his gaze. Lucas let out a laugh that twisted and turned a sound both unexpected and intriguing. How captivating. A gardener who believes he is a champion. He drew nearer, closing the distance between us. Take heed, my friend. Keep your distance from my mother, or you will face the consequences. I remained still. Lucas came to a halt. Olivia rose to her feet, her voice trembling yet resolute. In this abode, I hold no authority to issue commands. This is the choice I have made. Lucas cast his gaze aflame with wild intensity. Mother, you made your choice, and it was him instead of me. Have you lost sight of my essence? Olivia stepped back, her complexion drained of color. I am your mother, not an object for you to claim. Her voice carried a tension, yet it remained resolute. Lucas tightened his fists, a storm brewing within him, as if he stood on the edge of a precipice, ready to unleash the tempest inside. I positioned myself before Olivia. That will do, Lucas. If you persist, I will have to involve the authorities. With a thunderous bellow, Lucas unleashed his roar. Do you believe my mother requires the safeguard of law enforcement? Your worth is questionable. With a sudden burst of energy, he surged ahead to shove me. I stood firm, resolute in my decision to block him. Be gentle with Olivia. She deserves kindness. I shall not allow it. Lucas fought valiantly, yet I remained steadfast. Mother, behold this fellow who dares to challenge your daughter. With a deep breath, Olivia summoned her bravery and took a step forward, her voice steady and resolute. Lucas, if your heart still holds affection for me, I implore you to cease. Otherwise, I may find myself compelled to take an action I would rather avoid. Lucas stood still, caught in a moment of disbelief. Do you truly challenge me? Olivia quivered, yet articulated every word with precision. I'm reaching out to the authorities, and you shall never cross the threshold of this home again." Lucas gazed at his mother, his eyes heavy with unshed tears. "Regret will find you." With a swift motion, he snatched his coat, forcefully closed the door behind him, and stepped into the unknown. With a piercing screech, his car came to a halt just outside the gate. Once more, the house embraced a profound stillness. Olivia remained motionless, her entire form trembling with intensity. As I approached, I enveloped her in a warm embrace, holding her close. The tale is complete. Olivia, you truly shone brightly. Olivia wept openly, seeking solace in my embrace. Ah, the weight of unspoken words, how they linger in the shadows of our hearts. I found myself, in a moment of hesitation, grappling with the courage to let them escape my lips. I had faith in your abilities all along. Within you lies a strength you may not yet fully recognize. She embraced me fiercely, as though the very thought of my vanishing sent shivers through her soul. "Justin, my heartfelt gratitude to you. Your presence is truly invaluable to me. I shall forever remain by your side. You are safe from harm now." That night, after a stretch of restless days, Olivia finally found peace in my embrace, drifting into a deep, serene slumber. I reclined attuned to the rhythm of her steady breathing, a wave of relief washing over me. At long last, the dark chapter had come to a close. Yet one truth shone brighter than all the rest. My purpose extended beyond merely assisting Olivia. I found myself here, drawn by the depths of my love for her. Following the clash with Lucas, the house felt as though it had been liberated from a haunting presence. As the night wrapped around us like a soft blanket, Olivia found peace in the warmth of my embrace. The following morning, as I opened my eyes, the sunlight danced through the curtains, casting a warm glow upon her face. Olivia lay in a serene slumber, her face radiating an unparalleled tranquility. As my fingers glided through her hair, a wave of warmth surged within me, an emotion so profound and unfamiliar, it took my breath away. In that instant, it became clear to me that my heart had surrendered to this remarkable woman, freed from the chains of duty, in harmony once more. As the first light of dawn crept into the room, Olivia stirred from her slumber. She turned to me, her gaze shimmering with unshed tears. "Greetings, Justin, on this fine morning. Greetings, Olivia, as the dawn breaks anew." "Did you find rest in the embrace of slumber?" Olivia offered a subtle nod. "Your presence has gifted me with my first tranquil slumber in years." I held her hand softly, a tender connection between us. "I shall forever remain by your side. Fear no longer has a hold on you." Olivia gazed at me intently, her eyes holding a world of unspoken thoughts, before she softly laid her head against my chest. "I'm uncertain whether stepping into the chaos of my life is something you would find worthwhile." With a gentle touch, I pressed my lips to her forehead. "It holds great value, for I find myself unwilling to part from you any longer." As the days unfolded, a peculiar warmth enveloped the house, wrapping it in an embrace that felt both inviting and strange. Olivia embarked on a journey of self-discovery, shedding her former shyness and embracing a newfound confidence. In the warm embrace of our shared space, we tended to the garden side by side, crafted meals with love, and lost ourselves in the pages of books each evening, creating memories that lingered like the scent of fresh earth and home-cooked meals. On a sun-drenched afternoon, as I tended to the plants with care, Olivia appeared bearing 2 refreshing glasses of lemonade. "Justin, gather round, for I have a tale to share with you. I am all ears." I set the scissors aside and turned my gaze toward her. Could you please refrain from addressing me as you? A smile graced my lips. So what name shall I use for you? Olivia felt a warm flush rise to her cheeks. Refer to me as Olivia, just as you did in the past. I long to hear you utter those words, as if they were a cherished companion in my life. With a tender grasp, I cradled her hand in mine. And so we come to Olivia. Her smile radiated warmth and joy. Gratitude flows from my heart. On that enchanting night, Olivia, for the very first time, decided to take the reins and prepare the dish she had always professed her deep affection for: creamy mushroom pasta. As I stepped into the kitchen, I found her immersed in the world of spices. Is there something I can assist you with? Olivia spun around, her eyes glimmering with excitement. Indeed, your presence beside me is the greatest support I could ask for. As I approached, I lent a hand in preparing the evening meal. The kitchen resonated with joyous laughter, and our gazes danced with a tender sweetness. As the evening unfolded around the dining table, Olivia's hand found mine in a moment that felt both unexpected and profound. Justin, I realize now that my actions were driven by my own desires when I invited you into this space. But now your presence is no longer desired due to the agreement we once had. I grasped her hand firmly. Same here. My presence here is a testament to my love for you, Olivia. Her eyes shimmered with unshed tears. Justin, can you fathom the length of time I've yearned to hear those words? As I bent closer, our lips met in a gentle, fleeting kiss. From this moment forward, nothing shall come between us. On that fateful night, after what felt like an eternity, Olivia finally guided me to her room. Just in this evening, I yearned for companionship in the night. As I pivoted, my gaze locked onto hers. Gone were the days of fear and confusion. In the depths of the heart, a yearning lingered, a longing for warmth and solace, a wish to be embraced by love. I shall accompany you on this journey. This moment extends beyond tonight, for all eternity. With a tender touch, Olivia's fingers brushed softly against my cheek. Her hand, though cool, quivered with a subtle intensity. Take your time. Just embrace me first. I embraced her softly, sensing the rapid rhythm of her heartbeat beneath her delicate skin. We lingered in silence, the moment stretching out like a gentle embrace lost in our thoughts. As Olivia gazed upward, her eyes brimmed with tears. Justin, my heart is yours, beyond what my mind can fathom. I bent closer and brushed my lips gently against hers. In the beginning, gently, as though hesitant to shatter that delicate instant. In that moment, Olivia enveloped me in her embrace, drawing me nearer with a gentle pull. The kiss slowly transformed into a fervent embrace of longing. We ventured into her room, the door softly clicking shut behind us. The gentle yellow glow enveloped the pristine white bedsheet. Olivia reclined, her gaze brimming with affection as she looked at me. This evening, I wish to set aside thoughts of the past. All I desire is to be the one by your side. I bent close, my voice a gentle murmur, as I shared my words with her ear. And you are the most enchanting woman I have ever cherished. Soft kisses danced along her neck, caressing her delicate shoulders. Our hands discovered one another, weaving together in a delicate embrace. With deliberate care, I unfastened each button of her delicate nightgown, every motion infused with a gentle affection. Olivia quivered gently beneath the initial caresses, yet as I gazed upon her, I found her eyes shimmering with an unwavering trust. My heart belongs to you, Justin. A gentle smile graced my lips. My heart echoes your sentiment, Olivia. That night, we came together, not just in body, but with the deep affection that had blossomed over the days leading up to this moment. The clashes transformed into a beautiful symphony, a tender connection between two spirits who discovered one another amidst the tempest. At last, as we lay entwined in each other's embrace, Olivia rested her head upon my chest, her voice a soft whisper in the stillness. In this moment, I yearn to linger here for all eternity. With tender fingers, I caressed her hair, drawing her near to my embrace. Same here, Olivia. From this moment forward, I shall forever be your safe haven. It has been a month since that fateful night unfolded. Once more, Lucas has chosen to remain in the shadows, his presence a mere whisper in the air. Upon departing from home, he reached out to Olivia with a single message. Feel free to let me fade from your memory in any way you choose. I shall not return. Olivia lingered in silence after absorbing the message, a soft sigh escaping her lips as the weight of it settled in her heart. Perhaps that's for the best. I gently clasped her hand in mine. Let us embark on a new beginning, Olivia. Let go of the shadows that linger. She gazed upward, her eyes reflecting a serene tranquility like never before. Your support has given me the strength to carry on. From that moment forward, a new chapter unfolded in our lives. The green zone flourished like never before. Thanks to Olivia's generous support, I embarked on a journey that led me to acquire a new car, state-of-the-art machinery, and bring on board a handful of eager young talents. Yet above all, I found myself in the company of others. Each dawn, Olivia would bid me farewell as I headed to the car, her gentle kiss on my cheek a sweet ritual of our parting. Return to the warmth of our abode for a midday feast, my champion. Each evening, upon my return, the home welcomed me with a soft glow of warm lights, accompanied by a delicate fragrance wafting from the kitchen. Uncomplicated meals, yet brimming with joy and mirth. Firm grips and meaningful gazes. All was genuine, free from the burdens of what once was. One afternoon, as we sat on the porch, the sky ablaze with hues of orange and pink, Olivia softly rested her head on my shoulder. Once upon a time, there was a character named Justin. There was a time when I believed that in the end, I would never find it within myself to love anyone again. I embraced her more closely. There was a time when I believed I would forever remain a solitary lawnmower, lost in the vast expanse of green. Olivia beamed, her eyes sparkling with joy. Yet perhaps destiny weaves its own intricate tapestry. With a tender touch, I pressed my lips to her hair. From this moment forward, I vow to hold your hand tightly, never to release it again. Reflecting on my journey, I realize that love often emerges from the most surprising twists and turns. Had I not answered Olivia's call that fateful day, had I not embraced that daring proposal, would I have discovered my own haven? It seems unlikely. Ah, such is the journey of existence. It often presents us with unforeseen treasures if we have the courage to embrace our hearts and welcome them in. And what of you? Have you ever stepped into a relationship where initially you never anticipated discovering genuine love? Then allow your heart to share its tale. Perhaps, just perhaps, your journey could lead to a joyful conclusion, much like ours. Once upon a time, there was a tale of Justin, an unassuming lawnmower, and Olivia, a woman who appeared to have locked away her heart. After weathering countless storms, those two souls discovered a love that was genuine and profound. In this journey we call life, it seems that the most surprising twists are the finest treasures bestowed upon us by destiny. Thank you for joining me on this journey through today's tale. I trust this tale has infused you with a touch of warmth, a moment of contemplation on love, and a spark of courage. Until we meet once more in the tales yet to unfold, may you forever discover the joy that resides within you. Team Daily Tales of Surprise.